OK, so we're going to move on now to the Times and a desperate plea from Cancer Research UK, Paul.
Yeah, anti-smoking campaigners want Steve Barclay, who is the Health Secretary, to publish a plan for tobacco control. They're saying 1 million people will contract cancer from cigarettes by 2040 unless there is tougher action to stop smoking, such as raising the age. And by the way, that's been raised from 16 to 18 in the last few years.
It's 18 at the moment, right?
Yeah, so they're talking about raising it higher.
Raise it higher than that? I mean, once you're 18, you're an adult.
Well, this is the point. It is for me anyway. The first thing I learned about reading this article was that there was actually a smoke-free policy by 2030. I don't know what's going to happen in 2030, but we're going to become free of everything by 2030. I mean, but I'm not sure what good it does.
Well, they're saying here, this says they could raise the legal age for buying tobacco from 18 so that people who were born after a designated year could never buy cigarettes legally. I think they've implemented something like that in New Zealand.
In New Zealand, it increments every year. So yeah, you'll never, the smoking age goes up every year. So if you're born after the sort of, the cut-off point, you'll never become old enough to
Right, but
to buy
doesn't this rather suggest that they just don't trust the public? I mean, people make their own choices. If people want to endanger their lives by smoking, that's their choice.
Yeah, but people make terrible choices. Look at Lad Baby was #1 again.
It's a good point.
OK, this is a good point, Leo, but I'm surprised it's coming from you, because surely you're about liberty and freedom and individual choice.
The trouble with smoking is it doesn't just impact on the person who's smoking, it impacts on the people around them. I've lost friendships to smoking because I couldn't take my pregnant wife and I can't take my baby round to their house.
But what about people who are smoking in the privacy of their own home or that kind of...
That is in the privacy of their own home. And I don't know, I just say, why don't you just vape? I can't believe people are still smoking. It's like riding a horse to work.
Yeah, but
vape.
This argument could go down with alcohol, couldn't it? You could say, well, that ruins all sorts of people's lives.
Alcohol. Somebody can drink a glass of wine next to my baby and the baby's not getting second-hand alcohol.
Yeah, but maybe the person gets drunk and they knock the baby over, perhaps.
That we're getting into, we're extrapolating.
Well, I'm just suggesting that when it comes to alcohol, that does a lot more harm societally.
I've got a very stable baby.
OK.
That is, it's like a weeble.
Paul, do you not take the libertarian view on this?
I absolutely do, actually. I think you're making a great point. And it's interesting to see Leo argue this now as a new father as well. It's great to see this side of you, Leo. Not that you were anti this before you were a dad, but you probably would have cared a lot less. But where do you stop?
Yeah.
Where do you stop
at smoking? You stop at smoking.
OK, but when you stop smoking, I mean, the problem with this is second-hand smoke, the impact on the NHS. Let's say that was taken away. We wouldn't care if people smoked if it didn't cost things, would it? We wouldn't care if people wanted to kill themselves, and they want to kill themselves in many different ways.
I know people who smoke who need that sort of... I quit smoking. I used to smoke. When I moved to Vancouver, where smoking... I mean, it wasn't banned, but you had to go outside. It was, it was like Britain is now. It provided the impetus for me to quit, and I'm glad that I quit.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, in 2007, when it changed in the UK, it was weird being in a pub or nightclub and having to actually, not having to wash your clothes the next day and all that sort of thing. Yeah. And it did I stopped smoking at the same time as well. I used to smoke. But I get very uncomfortable with huge government where they sort of say, it's best for you if.
Yeah.
And even if it is best for me, I don't want them to tell me.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I disagree. I think I'm generally against big government, but when it's something like smoking, which, nobody... There's no... With climate change, there's some dispute. A dispute and with COVID lockdowns, a dispute that the lockdown is better than COVID. But with smoking, there's no way you're going to tell me. Nobody quit smoking and is like, oh my God, I can't believe the government made me quit smoking. I miss stinking and dying.
People do get a lot of pleasure from it. And also, there are all sorts of human activities that carry risk. You'll be banning sword swallowing next and things like that.
Yeah, actually, and all the other circus stuff, that annoying
circuses are annoying.
All that spinny little, things bouncing up in the air.